We earn the big money in leadership because we deal with these funny things called humans. If I have a computer and it's new, it normally works. If I have a leader and they're new, you can finish the sentence. The Apple store will not mend your leader. So we have a number of criteria which are difficult to deal with. You might have people who know it all, and they really might know more than you. Or they might have been at the same level as you yesterday, and now you're their leader. That is difficult. We might have someone who does not stop talking. We might have the questioner who goes on. We might have the very clever questioner who goes on. That is tough. You're new. What do you really want? You want people to love you, like you, follow you, give you a break. We're looking for fairness, but we have been promoted to leadership. Leadership can be a lonely space to inhabit. That is difficult. You can have people who are thick-skinned and insensitive, so you're subtle. Influencing is having no effect on these people. Or we can have the rejecter critic, the troublemaker, or the person, and you have to be unlucky here, the person who loves fighting, who loves provoking, who's bored, who's disengaged, who's cynical, and they just play with you like a cat and a bird. We don't want those. What we say to those characters is you've got to look inside and you've got to build your own resources. What victories have you had? What skills have you got? What achievements have you attained in your life? Those have got to become present. Those have got to become conscious. One, so that you can access the skills that they represent. Two, that you can get the confidence, the calm, the centeredness that you can do something constructive with the energy. You've got to be super positive because some of the elements in your team are super negative. Why, by the way, why they're doing this, we go back to the change slide. They don't like change. You are a threat to them. And once we understand this, it can be a lot easier. If I have a boss who likes me, then they will work around my weaknesses and they will help me with my strengths. If I have a new boss, there might be a regime change. They might not choose to ignore my weaknesses, but point them out cruelly and give me 1 week to learn French or whatever it's going to be. If I have a good boss, they will work with my strengths. If I have a good boss, they might be ignorant of my strengths. It's very stressful. But the young leader, starting on a Monday, doesn't know that, doesn't appreciate that. So coaching them through is very important. So we work on the inner new leader and building up their resources and their strength and their confidence. And we work on the audience also, and we can look at forming a contract with people, of putting in place rules of engagement. And so influencing can be introduced as a negotiation, as opposed to an assumption. Because if you assume the positive, you might be very disappointed. So we work as individuals, but we also work with a collective idea. If you, as a young leader, are irritated by someone in your team, guess what? Someone else will be irritated by that person as well. So use the energy or even the criticism of the group with these people. I work with many groups. I was in Germany a couple of years ago with a lot of unemployed people, and I experienced some individuals with deep pain, deep frustration. And yeah, they were tricky, they were difficult. I dealt with some of it, but also the group. I let the group feel and feed and express some of the frustration. So never be afraid to stop and ask and face the issue and the problem. We get into something else there. We separate out the issue from the emotion, from the personality. But these can be personality disorders, which can be very difficult.